Hi everyone, Jamie here. So here's a problem. I'm on my Porsche 968 and my bonnet cable just came off in my hand. Things have a habit of doing that. But on a separate note, this is how you fix it. Well, this is my way of fixing it. So as you can see, this Porsche 968 bonnet latch release mechanism works kind of like, or it should have worked, like this. Here's your lever, here's your cable, and your outer cable is supported in this top of the range superior German plastic housing. And of course the plastic's just broken off because that's how superior German cars are. And I'm not going to order a new component because I can see this component's almost brand new, and here's the original Porsche sticker, and it's probably been used for 5 minutes and it's broken again. I'm guessing this is a common fault on this car. So as I said, I'm not going to replace this thing. It probably cost $2 million or something a piece, and it's rubbish. So I'm going to adapt it, and I'm going to adapt it with this. And this is obviously a superior piece of modifying technology. It's a castellated nut, one that I didn't use on a suspension arm replacement job that I did on a car the other day. So my idea is this. I'm going to use this castellated nut. I'm going to open up one side of the castellation here so that the cable will fit through it, and the inside, the inner cable is going to go through the other half of the castellation. So I need to widen this top half so it'll pass this outer cable. I'm going to leave the bottom half because that's pretty much a perfect size. Then on the back of the nut, I'm going to weld a washer with a small hole through it that I can fit a screw through it, and I'm going to actually screw it and make a gap here, and I'm going to screw it to the body of the car. So this plastic rubbish outer will not be needed anymore, and it will be the job of this nut here to hold the cable. And then I'll obviously need to put a cap on it to keep this cable located inside the nut so it doesn't pop out. If you didn't understand any of that, which you probably didn't, it doesn't matter. Just keep watching the video and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So here we go. Gotta turn it on first. Let's see if it scorches my pinkies. That's a little toasty. Right, so let's see if I can show you up close how this works. So as you can see, I've widened this side of the nut. So that's the portion that my outer cable is going to slot through. And this is the narrow side, that's the portion that my inner cable is going to slot through. And I'm going to offer this up on the car and just make sure that it's the right size. Of course it will be, because with the magic of editing, everything fits the first time. Alright, so this might be the tricky part for some of you because you'll need a welder, but I'm just going to tack this little M6 washer onto the back of my castellated nut. That should do her. It's not pretty, but it'll work. So, once you've got your washer on your nut and a nice little neat hole in the middle, then what you're going to need is a self-tapping screw. You could drill a hole and thread it, but I think for the kind of stress that this is dealing with, we're not going to need to do that. This should be just fine. So you're going to pop your screw in here, and then you're going to offer it up to your plate. Of course, you're going to need to measure and mark exactly where your screw should be by putting this, offering a plastic plate up, and then measuring in this aperture that you've cut out, and then you just screw your bolt in, screw your screw in, screw your nut through your washer that's stuck to your nut in. So here's the really clever part. What I've got here, I've got my washer welded on the bottom side. I've got a self-tapping screw going through the washer, and I've got another washer which I'm going to enclose the whole thing with. I'm going to tack this on, and then I'm going to cut a groove in the top of the washer. You'll see what I'm talking about. Right, so the theory is that now I've got my screw in there, and my screw can't come out, but I can still get my screwdriver in. So when I put this on the car, I can screw my screw in and fix this thing to the inner wing. And my thin inner cable is going to slot through that groove, and the outer cable is going to slot in, but it can't come out because the gap on the other side is too narrow. That's the idea. Let's put it on the car and see if it works. So here we go, it's all reassembled and ready to rock and roll, and as you can see, my cable sits in that nut hole rather nicely. I like tight nuts. And now we don't have to rely on this top of the range German plastic anymore. Of course, the next failure point is going to be up here, because this is more than likely going to snap off at some point, and I'll have to re-engineer that as well, because there's no way I'm investing in this plastic. So there she is anyway, and the hood's open so you can't hear it clunk, but trust me, it works. And that's pretty much a full-time solution. I think that's going to be more reliable than the original component. It's rather robust. That's all for now, folks.